Guys, what is going on? My name is Joe, aka Cap.
I'm Dom, not Mysterio.
Got that.
And I'm Francis.
And this is The Push. Scott, what the hell happened to your face?
It's gone.
He got
It's all gone. It's all great. The water hitting my bare face for the first time in over a year.
God.
Did you have a nest in that thing?
Yeah, there was fucking birds living in it.
This whole time. Oh my God.
Yeah.
We finally have proof that Scott has a neck.
We finally have proof that Scott's not Amish.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's kind of weird seeing myself in shirts now that I see more skin.
It's kind of weird seeing
It really did cover
more
it all.
of you in general.
Yeah, you can finally see your neck.
It's weird. It's crazy, man.
Yeah. And
But
the lack
anyway.
of that Francis has.
I could have. Okay, you know what?
Oh man.
I'm saving my venom for you later, boy.
Oh, you're going down on tonight's topic. You are done on this topic.
Well,
Don't get me fucking started, man. I'm already getting heated now.
Oh, we'll get to that.
God, he's already. Are you getting heated or are you getting yeeted?
Heated.
Don't start. That's not until later.
I mean, we might as
I'm not
well.
ready for this one.
We could start with that. That is very.
No,
much
I'm
an
not starting
option.
with that. Nope. I'm starting with that later.
Nah. We're gonna let him sit on that. Let him steam. Let him.
We're gonna let him charge the
stew.
spirit bomb of pure unnecessary hatred that he has.
Let him sit on it.
we're just-
I want Francis to have
Let
nightmares
you,
of me owning him on a wrestling topic.
You're nowhere near close of my nightmares. Yeah.
Oh,
You're lucky
man.
to show up in my fever dreams.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Well, if the floor is given to me, if I may get my first 4 shots in, and by 4 shots I mean this 4 minutes.
Yeah. So it's surprisingly enough. Yeah. So welcome back, guys. Welcome back to The Push. By the way, before we get started, real quick, I want to thank everybody who's watched the stream last week. And who's been watching on our YouTube page. Make sure, if you like everything that we're doing here, be sure to follow us here on Twitch, and also be sure to subscribe to the YouTube page. We're doing this on Thursday. We usually tend to try and stream on Wednesdays. This was a random occurrence. We're really trying to stick to this new schedule of streaming on Wednesdays, and as per usual, the VODs usually go up the next day on YouTube. So be sure to subscribe to both of those. And also follow us on TikTok and Instagram at The Push Wrestling.
Nice plug.
Thank you, Francis. Alright.
I want to hit you. I just never get the chance.
You're never gonna get the chance.
Every ounce of mellow this guy had went with his beard, I swear to God.
Yeah.
But anyway, we are going to start off the show, and we are going to start it off with everybody's favorite residential weeb, Francis Harrison. Francis, what's been going on overseas?
I mean, it's nothing much. Zack Sabre Jr. still hasn't cashed in his opportunity for the G1 win like he wanted to, and nothing but Kenny Omega has returned to New Japan Pro Wrestling. And he's facing off against his other arch rival, Japanese Triple H himself, Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Jesus Christ.
I definitely remember that name.
Yeah.
Kenny
Now, well, okay, I literally I was watching one of his streams where he was marathoning Marvel vs. Capcom 2 5 hours straight, which respect. But he said he's still out indefinitely. But I think the implication from the promo that New Japan dropped previously this week is that when Kenny comes back, he's not going straight to AEW. He's going to New Japan. And it's probably going to have a Wrestle Kingdom 13 rematch against Tanahashi in the Tokyo Dome come January.
So that's going to be insane, right?
I mean, the last match they had was pretty great. I totally loved watching the world's buffest weeb go up against heavy metal Japanese Triple H businessman dad. There's just a lot in there, but that's what he is.
That was just a mouthful.
Mouthful
Okay.
of words.
Okay, let me shorten it this way. Hiroshi Tanahashi is what would happen if your dad one day discovered that he was a really big fan of Kamen Rider. That's Hiroshi Tanahashi. Trust me, what? Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone's dad. Just the pure basis concept of a dad took on human form, really liked Kamen Rider. You get Hiroshi Tanahashi. Also, he showed up in a Tekken game one time too. We'll add that to the hat.
Okay, I mean that doesn't surprise me because what is it? Samoa Joe is going to be voice acting in the new Val game.
And he's going to be in Yakuza, I believe.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Wait, Joe?
Yeah.
Either Samoa Joe's going to be in Yakuza. Because
that's kind of fire. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. Because why not?
That's very interesting. So how has he been giving any updates on his health? Because I'm pretty sure last time we saw him in AEW, he said he was like a shot to the chest away from being dead or something like that.
Well, apparently Homeboy came into possession of some sensu beans because last I heard on the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 stream, he's rehabbing.
Okay. I mean,
So
listen,
that goes.
all the luck to him. Hopefully, we get to see him back in the ring very soon. Kenny Omega is nothing but entertaining.
I love me some Kenny Omega.
The dude, I mean, obviously we all wish him a quick and speedy remainder of his recovery. So, like I said, hopefully we get him back in the ring soon, because then maybe I'll actually watch AEW.
Well, again, he's going to New Japan before he goes to AEW, so you'd have to watch New Japan.
New Japan and AEW have a working relationship, so it wouldn't be long before he's back in the ring in AEW.
Yeah. Plus,
I'm not gonna lie, returning Kenny Omega would definitely get a lot. I think a lot of people more invested in AEW.
Absolutely.
Plus, for all the guys for him to work with over New Japan, Tanahashi is probably the safest for him to work with in the ring. He's been there since like forever, and he's somewhat semi-retired too, so he knows not to go crazy with the spots or all the bumps. So they're probably going to open because that's what Tana's been doing for the last couple of shows over in New Japan. He opens, and again, that's even if he's wrestling that day.
Yeah.
He is a part-timer. Which is fine. Dude's pushing 50, and he's still like trying to be Schwarzenegger levels of jacked. You gotta.
This is essentially Kenny going up against like a Japanese version of. I'm trying to think who's like the safest wrestler I can think of right now.
The Miz.
Brat.
Probably the Miz.
The
so
Miz
like a
is good
Japanese
too.
version of the Miz.
Current wrestler, Francis.
Current wrestler. Yeah, no, Miz. He's just the safest guy to work with.
All right, that's good to know. That's good to know. But like Dom said, of course, we all wish Kenny a speedy rest of his recovery, and I don't know about y'all, I'm definitely looking forward to that Tanahashi versus Omega match. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Anyway, since we were in the realm of AEW, let's stay in this realm for a minute because we haven't talked about this company for a bit.
Without shitting on it.
Without like thrashing.
We talked about it 2 weeks ago, and it was me yelling, "Orton did it like 6 times in a row." Because
I don't know, like I brought it up and you got like violently angry about it.
It's not even that I was angry. It's
you were angry. Shut up.
You were angry.
Cap, you have to understand. I wasn't angry at AEW. I was angry at you.
Anyway.
I'm gonna take everybody behind the scenes real quick here. My camera that shows up in this call is towards his right, and he just pointed to the left. So it looked like.
Well.
What?
Oh no! On my his right. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, that's why Fatal Fury is spelled
backwards. In the complete opposite direction of me, right?
Oh yeah, Cap, I was angry at you.
There you go. Now you got it.
There we go.
There we go. Now you got
That's
it.
What you. Yeah.
Oh god.
Facial physics.
Anyway, let's stay on this because Scott, I believe you had an AEW story, and then I have one as well.
Oh, here we go.
And being the person only person out of all of us that loves to hate AEW, Rusev Rusev wants out of his contract and released from AEW. And I just think it's very comical because he wants to leave because he wasn't getting no production, getting anywhere, and then he winds up doing the same exact thing.
Well, from what I've seen, his beef with AEW is every time he pitches something for creative, they shoot him down. Like he pitched a feud with Moxley that got shot down, and they just have nothing for him. So I don't blame him. I mean,
yeah,
he's been trying to have a return for so long, and every time he's like, "We could do this," they're like, "No, I don't think so," and they just do something else instead, and he gets nothing.
Because they have the evil version of Knights of the Round Table, and if no one likes it from that little group, then it doesn't get done, and they ended up getting another Vince situation just with more people involved.
Tony Khan is a fucking glorified fantasy booker.
So let me post this question to you guys. This go around with AEW, is this Miro's? Is this an issue?
I don't blame Miro at all. I blame creative.
He's one of the easiest. He's one of the most easygoing guys in the world.
Not even that. He's easy to get over.
Yeah,
the dude's a powerhouse. It's not hard for him to get over.
Even when he first got it.
Go ahead, Tim.
Even when he first got introduced into AEW, his character was very powerful. He was, he was impossible. He was impossible to beat. He won a title. He had a great going, but then as soon as he lost that title, it
was over.
It's like nothing ever happened, and it's like how does that happen? People were enjoying it when I was watching it in the beginning.
Yeah, like it's a running thing.
You guys remember when he first debuted on the main roster, like way back when?
WWE?
Yeah, in WWE.
I wasn't watching at that point. I'm sorry.
So I do. Well, that's okay because I do remember.
Really?
Yeah, of course I do.
No, not that. I'm more shocked that Francis wasn't watching at that point.
It was a whole thing.
It was a dark time for WWE.
It's a dark time. A time without Francis. Yes. Or Francis.
Okay.
Good.
Anyway, I do remember when he first started coming back, when he first got to the main roster. The guy was very similar to what you guys are describing. The guy was an absolute machine.
Yeah, and then you know what sucked is he got over on his own because he had the whole Rusev Day thing.
Yeah. Then he
got over. Well, besides that, the whole Rusev Day got him so over it never went away. And then WWE didn't like that because he got over and then stayed over when they didn't want him to be. So they fucking killed him. And that's why he left to go to AEW. And then now AEW, they got nothing for him in terms of creative. It's not that they don't want him to succeed. I just don't think they have anything worth putting on TV.
Well, again, we don't know that it's not worth putting on TV because they're not even trying.
Yeah.
According to
let me rephrase. They don't have anything worth putting on TV that they think is worth putting on TV.
Yeah. They have, again, we keep saying it, they have plenty of talented wrestlers, except they're not using them.
Exactly.
Of course.
Because they wanted a country away from Vince so they can have a company that only acquires their happiness. They still thought of themselves while trying to think of other people.
Or Tony Khan is just a geed.
Then funny enough.
Tony, this describes what Tony Khan is like managing this company. You're 10 years old, whatever age, 2K, not 2K, but when Raw vs. SmackDown came out, and you were able to make your own company. You were able to make your own company, and it didn't matter what the stats said. Some wrestlers might have been a lot weaker, but you liked them, so you put them in part of your show. And then you start playing, and then you start winding up realizing, like, why am I doing bad? It's because you realize that now that you're older, you realize that you're putting people who you like instead of people who deserve it, and your ratings fall down. And in real life, it's required, and this happens then. You're doing good. I mean, the fantasy matches are great, But
great for little rating pops here and there, but they're not good for longevity.
you need to start coming up with something instead of just giving the same group of people title matches just because you want to hear their names clash.
Exactly.
So,
you know what it's basically doing. It's like when a little kid is like playing with his WWE action figures in the ring in the living room just because like you're fucking around. And it's like when you have like Mr. Clean just beat the Undertaker for the World Heavyweight Championship. Like what? That's what AEW sounds like to me at this point.
Oh my God! Spider-Man just cashed in his money.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be funny. So let me ask you guys this: like, is this just it in regards to Miro? Like, does he try and see if another company will talk to him, or are we just?
He's a big enough commodity that he could go be a big deal in like another company. WWE's entire creative team has been completely reshuffled, so he could always like show back up there.
He could either come back or he could turn around. He might go to like TNA or something. He could be huge in TNA.
I mean, maybe WWE.
What they're doing that
WWE could use another monstrous wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
He could go to New Japan. New Japan loves internationals.
That's also true.
So, I guess that's like my big thing. Like, is if we're basically done here with AEW.
We do have one more thing about AEW.
Well, no, I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about Miro.
Yeah, he's done. He doesn't want to go back.
Yeah.
Dumb. We already got Francis here. Come on now.
I remember my directional input that time, fucker.
Yeah, but not that time.
You know what the funny thing is? I can move him around if I really wanted to. I could just put him at the bottom of the screen.
Oh God. Don't do it.
Do it.
Don't worry, I won't abuse my power.
I'm not kidding. Don't worry about that. But anyway,
Yeah.
I guess that was just my big thing. Like, wondering like, he's done here in AEW. I don't know,
Scott, what the fuck are you doing?
What the politics are between him and WWE. So like, it's just a question. Like, are we just like pretty much done here? I know he's very successful streaming wise.
Yeah.
Well, so,
Yeah.
He could always just do that, but like,
he could show up on Cleaner's Corner with Kenny.
There's always going back to WWE. There's no issue with that. We understand you were unhappy and you wanted to discover yourself, and you did. And you can bring that same energy that you had for AEW over to a different company. You can even go the TNA NXT route, because I'm sure you'd be great swapping back and forth.
Well, personally speaking, I do hope, this is not the last of him, because I enjoy him. I personally enjoy him.
I agree.
But, so yes, people, Miro is out the door. But somebody else is walking into that door and has already established a rivalry, possibly, potentially. So last night, AEW was in Madison Square Garden for a Grand Slam. A couple of great matches happened there. We had Daniel Bryan Danielson, also known as Bryan Danielson.
The first one,
taking on the former Desmond Wolfe, now known as Nigel McGuinness. This is his first match in, I want to say, like a decade or something like that. Had an excellent match.
He's wrestling again?
Yeah. Yeah, he had a
fuck.
match last night.
Okay.
And Bryan Danielson, and it was pretty damn good, I would say.
I remember when he was part of British Invasion. Holy hell.
Yeah.
Alright, Desmond Wolfe. Look at you, brother.
Now known as Nigel McGuinness.
Yeah, that was his commentary. Last I saw him, he was doing commentary in NXT, back when that was peak.
But yeah, no, so that was a great match. We also had Swerve's manager, also known as Prince Nana, also known as that guy who dances to his theme song. Damn good theme song, so I can understand.
Too bad he dances like a geed.
Gave an update about Swerve's health, which was interrupted by one Montel Vontavious Porter, MVP.
Is all elite.
MVP is in AEW. And, basically is trying to sign. I believe the story right now is he's trying to sign Swerve to his new syndicate. Basically telling Prince Nana that whenever Swerve is ready to come back, tell him to come talk to me so we can talk business. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, so basically, he's trying to bring the Hurt Business back into AEW.
Which I don't mind
Yes.
because Evil Sports Agent MVP was always my favorite version of MVP.
Fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, thoughts. MVP in AEW, most likely not to be, and we all know it, keep in mind when you're talking here, MVP is usually not too far from a Bobby Lashley as well.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, look. If they somehow bring his house back, then sure, I'll keep an eye on this whole angle they're doing with Hurt Business 3.0. Because this would be the third version of the Hurt Business. There's the one they had in WWE, and the other version they had in TNA, back before they rebranded to TNA when they were either Impact or Global Force. But I can't for the life of me remember the name of it.
It was, well, actually, funny enough, I do remember it. It was the Beatdown Clan.
The
Made a
Beatdown
TikTok
Clan,
about it.
that's right.
Yeah, made a TikTok about it, which you should follow us on, by the way, at the
Nice
Push Wrestle.
plug.
Shut the fuck up, Francis.
But yeah, no, there was...
Every
This started
fucking
off
time.
with the Beatdown Clan in TNA involving MVP, Bobby Lashley, Kenny King, Samoa Joe, another member of AEW, just want to point that out, and also Low-Key as well.
The Norse God?
The Marvel
Yes,
supervillain.
the Norse god. Low-Key, yes.
Oh, that's cool.
They got
The area-
I didn't know he
Yeah.
wrestled.
Yeah, no, well, you know, he's not doing anything in the MCU right now, so he's got to pay the bills somehow. But anyway, yes, that was started in TNA. We got the WWE version with MVP Bobby and Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander for a little while as well.
Yeah.
And now it looks like we're doing this again in AEW.
They need to go back to the Beatdown Clan.
I wish they could, but it looks like they already got a name in mind. It's called Hurt Syndicate.
That's the Hurt
I mean, I don't hate it.
Syndicate.
I don't.
Wait, hold on. Pause for a minute. Scott,
What?
you, the professional hater of AEW,
All things AEW.
all things
Said
AEW.
something-
This man lives and breathes on haterade for AEW.
No, I've always been a fan of
That's
MVP.
the thing you don't hate.
Uh,
No, I've always been a fan of MVP.
MVP.
And if you're gonna make that type of character, if you're gonna put that character into AEW, I kind of didn't want them to change it. I know you can't use Hurt Business, but
Or Beatdown Clan.
having Hurt Syndicate.
I think they could have been a little more
really good.
creative than Hurt Syndicate. That just sounds like a fucking
Yeah, but
stupid ass like
I mean,
PG fucking
MVP's
superhero
gonna
movie
make
villain.
it work.
Yeah.
His managerial power has really
Yeah.
risen when he's come back.
I'll give him that. His skills on the mic would probably make up for the shitty name.
I would just drop the Hurt and just call it the Syndicate.
See, that sounds better. to
That
me.
would
Yeah.
actually
The Hurt Syndicate just sounds stupid.
Just the Syndicate.
Yeah,
Syndicate
exactly.
would not be that bad.
Yeah.
Would actually, I'd actually appreciate that. I actually wouldn't even mind bringing back the Beatdown Clan either.
Nah, they
No,
sound
it's
like
if TNA
SoundCloud
let them.
rappers. They sound like SoundCloud rappers.
Oh, but the Hurt Syndicate, like,
No,
The Hurt Syndicate sounds like a cheesy '90s
they sound
villain
like
from a
reject.
comic book
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, they sound like rejected Avengers villains.
or even
What?
if they just, what if they just like call themselves like the Business or something like that?
The business boys.
No,
I mean, you definitely get people interested in watching it because you'll be having jokes all over the internet.
All
Listen,
right.
look, it worked for Joe Hendry. He became a
so-
meme, and now everyone knows who he is.
That's true. That's true. So yeah. So clearly we got MVP. Clearly we got Bobby Lashley. I'm just gonna say this right here. I wouldn't mind if Joe and MVP hooked up again. Maybe put Joe in there.
Throw in Powerhouse Hobbs while you're at it.
Hobbs would probably be really good with having MVP in his corner. I think that could go really well for him.
That would actually be.
You need to put powerful names in there because you can't. Because it's not WWE where there's one main guy and there's two sides.
Exactly.
AEW,
you could throw.
Even though they fail, they do good. They do
Absolutely,
put big names together for factions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's interesting. I'm definitely. It's definitely something to keep an eye on when it comes to AEW right now.
Yeah.
There's quite a few things I would say.
You should bring back the VIP lounge. MVP, you don't remember that? MVP.
I do remember that. When every episode of Raw needed like 2 talk show segments.
Oh God.
Yeah, Miz TV, VIP corner, fucking
Carlitos Campana.
Alexa Bliss had a talk show at one point.
Moment of Bliss, yeah.
Moment of Bliss. We had the what do we have? The Cutting Edge.
Edge, Grayson Waller effect.
The highlight reel with Chris Jericho.
Yeah, fucking
KO
had one.
Who can forget everybody's favorite talk show done by Christian, the Peep Show.
Oh my God, I forgot about the Peep Show.
How could you forget, Francis? How could you forget about the Peep Show?
Wait, hold on, Cap. Was this Evanescence era Christian or Story of the Year?
Oh no, this was Evanescence.
This was Evanescence era Christian?
This was Evanescence.
Oh God.
It was. Oh my God. I need to know who approved that name. I desperately need to know who approved that name. It's beautiful. Oh man.
Anyway. So lately, not lately. Earlier this week on Raw, there was a segment that popped up on the screen, and a mysterious symbol popped up on the screen for a little bit. I forgot what words were said. I'm going to put it up on the screen now. I don't know if you guys could see it. If you look on the stream, obviously you can see it. It's the full runic. So it's very like Viking runic looking in fire, in Boston Fire. Everyone's like, "Oh, who is?" I'm like, "Bro, you take 2 looks at this. It's the Viking Raiders." There's no.
I wonder who
who could be behind these Viking sigils?
Exactly.
Viking music.
Viking runes with war chant music behind it.
Me, I gotta go and watch the Raiders game.
Yeah. Are they playing today?
No.
Not tonight.
Cowboys, Giants.
Oh, ew.
Or today, or right now.
Yeah, no,
that's 2 depressing ass teams playing each other.
We're using our time better.
Fuck you.
I was waiting to see
Oh right.
Cap, you'll do more winning doing this podcast than the Giants will on the field.
Ooh. Hey, listen, at least the Giants have a chance to beat the Cowboys.
Everybody has a chance to beat the Cowboys.
Everybody has a chance to beat the Giants too. No offense.
Little Giants don't have a chance to beat the Cowboys, for the love of God.
Cap, remember.
Shout out to
the reason you picked up. No, remember the reason you picked up Daniel Jones is because he was trained by a Manning. Good job.
Listen, maybe they'll get lucky. Maybe they'll draft Arch Manning when he graduates college.
Oh God! Oh God!
Have you seen that kid? He's nuts.
He's good. He's not going to go to New York though.
No, he ain't coming to New York.
I don't know. Well, you never know. You never know. Anyway, moving back to this, very smoothly transitioned in topic change. By the way,
segue.
At least it was smooth.
But anyway,
the Viking Raiders are on their way back.
Viking Raiders.
I'm happy.
I'm happy that
I love it.
Eric was able to recover because I know he had a bad motorcycle injury and a motorcycle accident, which caused a back injury. So I'm glad he's recovering well. I'm glad to see that he's on his way back. What? It happened a while ago, yeah.
Yeah.
They haven't really done much on TV. They had
He's doing solo runs. He impressed the crowd. He definitely impressed the crowd with his solo runs.
Yeah, it was like him and Sarah Logan were like just, she would be his manager out there. But I know she had to step away because I don't know. I feel like I heard something that she's pregnant again, but I'm not sure. I have to fact check that, so don't quote me on that.
Too late. Quoted.
Fuck. But I know they took Ivar off TV because I'm assuming they were getting ready because Eric was getting ready to clear and everything, so they wanted to, take it away, to bring it back, so it's actually a return and not just like, oh look, he's back.
Fair enough.
Do you guys think that they're going to, when they come back in full, this could be the start of a big push for them?
I would hope so.
And
because the tag team division in WWE right now is a little
abysmal,
hit or miss.
It needs help.
No, this is. I'm gonna cut in real quick because I actually do have a bone to pick with this because the tag team division ever since. Well, this problem existed in the previous era of WWE as well, but like it is just blaring at this point in the Triple H era. The tag team division is. I think it's being run abysmally right now.
Well,
both sets of titles are
in faction,
basically being cloaked in other storylines right now.
Yeah. Unfortunately, because unfortunately they're the only teams that are doing anything. This is a great segue for something else I wanted to talk about. So, this is a much better segue, actually. Without the Usos being a tag team right now, you don't have them to kind of win a title and hold it for a little bit and, do the Uso thing and just be a big, title run and have, great matches and this and that. On top of that, we're looking at the possible implosion of the New Day.
That's true.
Yeah, that's another.
Each week that goes exactly, but that's my point. That's my transition. Each week that goes by, it's getting more and more evident that the New Day is getting closer and closer to breaking up, especially without Big E involved.
Yeah.
Xavier and Kofi are
on the
having some little spats more and more. I feel like because Xavier is getting frustrated over not getting his voice
frustrated over not being taken seriously.
Yeah.
Or at least he feels he's not being taken seriously.
Yeah, from what I saw on Raw this week, he made a lot of comments about not having a singles title. He's never held a singles.
He's the only member of the New Day to never hold a singles belt.
Yeah.
Right.
So they did a backstage promo on a backstage segment where the Xavier and Kofi were talking, and then Rey Mysterio and the LWO showed up to apologize about last week because they ran in on their match. And Xavier said some words to Rey as well as Kofi, basically saying "Oh, what? You're gonna tell me what to do because you are former world champion and I'm not." Blah blah blah, things like that. And basically, that's leading to now next week. We get Xavier Woods versus Rey Mysterio in a singles match.
Ooh.
Okay, so I actually got some because I did watch this segment you're talking about, Dom, and I got some thoughts here. Last week, I was under the impression that when you saw that argument that Kofi and Xavier were happening, it could be argued that both of them are correct.
Yeah, right and wrong. Yeah.
Both of them are right, but both of them are wrong.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
In this case,
it's just Xavier.
You could, I guess, from a certain point of view, you could see where he's coming from.
Okay,
I mean, I
Kenobi.
get it.
This entire segment just screams, inferiority complex. He kept on mentioning he's never had a singles title.
Mhm.
And that's true. And that sucks that you haven't had one, and I'm sorry about that. Did you try? Is a question I would
Well,
ask.
I want to say he has. I'm sure he's pushed to have a singles run, especially when you had Big E getting a chance. You had Kofi getting, Kofi had the whole Kofi Mania moment.
Yeah.
Granted, I don't think that was a huge plan. I think that was very much, oh shit, the fans are really into him. Let's give him the title for like a month, and then Brock Lesnar can take it off him in 8 seconds flat. But that's
And then the
story for another day.
Big E, but
And then, a very unfortunate circumstance for Big E.
Yeah.
Granted,
before that
again,
was a world champion to also lose it to Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar.
Goddamn
Bork Laser.
But like, here's the thing, man. In all of these cases, like,
I'm sure he's
they
pushed
had mentioned that
backstage,
it was-
but creative, they never gave it to him.
Yeah. I mean, that's true, but also, like, you gotta. I'm thinking within character-wise. I'm thinking story-wise.
Well, yeah, but that's my point. Is I'm sure he's pitched it in the past. I can't imagine any wrestler that's happy to just be, I'm happy to just win tag titles. I never want to win singles gold. Come on.
Yeah.
You're in this industry, you want to be a champion.
Theoretically speaking, that's been the Usos for the past 15 years, but that's before this.
I'm
year.
not saying they wanted that.
I'm gonna have to. You know what? There's a lot of agreeing around, and I'm gonna have to say, I think this is the one time that we are gonna get the heel is actually gonna be more beloved than the person who's gonna be the face after the breakup.
I think so. As well. I think everyone's going to side with
There's also
Xavier.
the fact that Xavier never had a titles run, but yet has Kofi supported him in any of that? Has he actually gone out and be like, you can try to get this, you can try to go? You mean Xavier was there for Big E? He was there for Kofi when they won their singles run while they were a group.
And I think,
but it happened somewhat in a short time between each other because Kofi had his. There was a little pause and break, and then Big E got his.
yeah.
And then we still haven't got anything like Xavier. There wasn't even like little hints of saying like of random solo matches because they would just wait for Kofi to be back when he was hurt.
Yeah.
If I believe right.
Any singles matches that Xavier had, it was usually to advance a tag team rivalry. So it'd be like, if the New Day was feuding with the Usos, they would randomly have matches of here's Xavier versus Jimmy, and then they would do a Kofi versus Jay, and then you know what I mean, and then it would culminate at the end with the tag match. But
yeah, and it's also the fact that hey, how we portray ourselves, I'm kind of done. It's kind of stupid. It was fun at the moment, but continuing to be this kind of character that we portray ourselves, it's like I want to show people that I can take this serious. I'm a joke.
No,
because
you could
often most out of the three, Xavier Woods was most likely the mascot out of the three.
Well, yeah, he was always the one that would until Big E got hurt. Media. He was the one that was always kind of pushed off. If it wasn't a 6-man tag match, it was usually like Kofi and Big E that were in the match, and then at least when it came to the titles,
even when they were tag team champions, I would argue that
it was usually Kofi and Big E that were holding the titles.
Yeah, and if the pairing was for a title match, if the pairing was like either Kofi / Big E and Xavier defending the belts,
it was
a lot of people were worried that like
Xavier was going to be the one that ate the pin.
That loses it for them.
Yeah.
So.
And which is sad because I've been.
It was also the perfect timing of, we're going to consider trios a part of the tag team class.
Yeah, they brought back.
So you can just switch off, which it kind of made it like, you can also bring up the fact because this is a feud you can really. there's so much history that you can also be like, well, if Kofi really wants to, the only reason you're a tag champion is because they allowed an extra person to be included in the name.
If it's a 3-man tag team, all 3 men are.
Because DX had the tag titles, but when the tag titles were at them, Road Dogg and Mr. Ass, they had their own thing when they were. They were part of DX, but when they were
still New Age Outlaws.
They were a thing together.
Yeah.
So basically,
they represented both.
If Kofi really wants to twist the knife here, you could essentially make an argument that him and E did all the work.
Yeah.
Which isn't
the history that they have
true
is the
because
perfect evil villain arc.
Yeah.
For
Which
superheroes.
isn't. Yeah, it's not 100% true. Obviously, Xavier did a lot of the work. He's gotten the wins in some of these matches and things like that. And yeah, he is part of the most successful tag team in WWE, period. I think, what are they, 14-time tag champions?
12
longest reigning
champions or something like that.
No, the Usos beat them on the longest reigning.
Oh, they're the second, so they're the second longest.
The second longest, because when the Usos had it with the Bloodline, they beat the record of the longest reigning.
Yeah,
but Hendricks and London are still better than them.
They still have the most
that
times.
Tag team,
they've won the most times. But I do think it's long overdue for Xavier to win singles gold.
Yeah. I think. Listen. Go ahead, finish.
I think because this is also going to kind of pull into the next topic. Speaking of singles gold, I could feel Scott's anger already.
I'll wait for that at the very last topic, but okay.
I think this is theoretically going to be the longest topic. So
yeah, so save the meat and potatoes for right in the middle.
Save the real meat.
So I think it's long overdue for Xavier to win singles gold, and like Scott said earlier, he mentioned something that I agree with. They're going to paint Xavier as the heel in this situation because he's going to be the one that turns on Kofi. But I feel like everyone's going to be cheering for Xavier. Like, it's going to be very similar to the whole situation with like Dom and Ray. When Dom first turned, everyone wanted him to turn. They're like, separate the two of them, have Dom turn heel on Ray. Because they'll never turn Rey Mysterio heel. It won't happen.
I don't think he's ever been a heel.
He's never been heel, period. That's
not
it.
In WWE.
Well, at least not in the WWE.
Not in WCW. Actually, no, in WCW when they fucking unmasked him and made him join the Filthy Animals.
Yeah, but that's a different story. So it made sense. Dom turned on Ray, and there was it was like, oh my god, like Peter, you had that oh my god pop, but you still had a pop. Like, people wanted it. And then he started kayfabe banging Rhea Ripley, and then everyone was pissed. But because they were jealous.
Morgan, so.
Yeah, and that made it worse.
That became a super heel.
So I think it's going to be one of those moments where Xavier is going to be the heel, but he's going to be justified. And it's going to be one of those moments where he's going to come out on top. He's going to wind up winning gold, and one of those feuds is probably going to be Xavier versus Kofi.
So I mean, then at that point, let's just ask the question then, because I remember a similar situation happening here. If you remember back in I want to say it was 2016, 2017, like that, when Becky turned on Charlotte.
Oh, everyone ate that shit up.
Yeah, Becky was totally justified.
Bro, I was at that SummerSlam.
Yeah,
I was at the Barclays Center in 2018.
Yeah, that was the one in Brooklyn.
When she turned around and bitch slapped Charlotte Flair after the triple threat match with Carmella.
So,
and
but I mean, theoretically,
the pop for that slap was probably one of the loudest pops of the night, in my opinion.
Yeah. But here's the
crowd
thing,
ate that shit up.
She was portrayed to.
She was supposed to be a heel.
Be a heel in that situation.
But she was so over, they had to book. Yeah, she was so over, they had to book her like Stone Cold. And that's where we got the whole man persona.
So then let me ask you this, like, at this point, would it even make sense to try and book him as a heel? Because I'm imagining if what you're saying is correct, there's no way that we're gonna boo this guy.
Absolutely not. I can never boo Xavier.
And I'm somebody who absolutely believes that, like, you know, in order to be a good heel, people have to hate you.
Yeah, I think
you can't have people cheering them. Like,
I think they need to plan for either outcome. You know, have it where you have that pivoting, that boiling moment of he finally snaps and turns on Kofi and says, "I'm done. Whatever he does to do it, that's what he does." Take the reaction and go from there.
I know what they have to do. No, there's only one way for people to hate on Xavier.
He would have to do something to Big E.
He has to go after Big E.
Yeah, that's the only way they'll hate him. But if
Big E has to come back for a segment and he turns and hits Big E.
Yeah, like he clocks him. Yeah.
Like he clocks him, like he means to hit him.
Yeah, I brought up this idea.
Because hitting Kofi might not even do the trick for Xavier.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
He will because of his because of the injury he suffered and had to retire.
Exactly. And then on top of that, but that's if they want him to be a heel. If they want, like I said, they have the perfect opportunity. Let him go off on Kofi. See how the fans react, because they might boo him still, but they might cheer. If they cheer, you book him like a tweener kind of heel, where it's like, yeah, we want him to win, but he's still doing like fucked up shit. Yeah. Like kind of like Stone Cold, like Becky, you know, things like that. Yeah. It's like he's still gonna be like this aggressive, over the top, like he's gonna do what he's got to do, and he didn't do like great things to get there, and even arguably like KO, like prize fighter KO, like even though he was a heel, people still cheered for him. So I could see them going that route, as opposed to having him go full on heel, because they could very easily like do what Scott said, have like maybe Big E comes in to like in a backstage segment to like moderate, like be like, guys, why are we fighting? There's no Kofi and Xavier are in the middle of an argument. Big E steps in and like Kofi could be like, listen to E, whatever, blah blah blah, and then Xavier can turn around and just be like, listen, you have no right to be here. You're not part of the New Day anymore. You left. And then, he goes to walk away, Big E grabs him, and then Xavier turns around and just clocks the fuck out of him. Yeah. Like that would be the only way I could see the fans hating Xavier.
And to be honest with you, like if he can take something like that,
but that's it again. That's if that's what the route they want to go, because they could very easily turn around and say, we want him to be over, but a heel.
So I don't know, man. At the end of the day, it really depends on... For something like that to happen, it depends on two different things. One, it depends on our reaction.
Yeah.
And
whether or not he can do something like that.
He can handle something like that.
Yeah, because we don't know what he's medically cleared for. Like, obviously, I'm assuming if he's cleared to lift and be in the gym, I'm sure he could take a fake punch. But I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to sit here and speculate what he can and can't do.
All right, guys, we need to tear open this. I
think we need to rip the Band-Aid off.
We need to rip the Band-Aid off.
Let's just rip this Band-Aid off.
I could see Scott. I could see the steam coming out of Scott's ears.
His camera is fogging up. He's so steamed up right now.
His eyes are red and not...
So we've been saying that Xavier needs a singles title.
Yeah.
Theoretically, he could always go for the Intercontinental Championship,
which is now being held.
Which is now in the hands
of the one and only Yeet Master. Main event, Jey Uso. Yeet!
All right, Scott. Before you die on camera, do you got something you want to get off your chest, buddy?
Nope.
Well, as
Francis can take the floor.
As everyone had said.
Tom, how about you, man? You're
yeah. I love watching Scott suffer.
yeah.
Ouch.
We've been friends for almost 20 years at this point. It doesn't get any better than this. I love watching him in pain. It's fantastic. As we mentioned, Jey Uso is now the Intercontinental Champion, beating Braun Breaker, fucking just straight, clean
as a whistle,
right in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
I am not happy about it. I'm happy for Jay that he finally has success as a single star. I don't think it was the right idea for it to be over Braun Breaker.
Seconded.
Not like, at least not. I don't know if it's me. Just I don't see how Braun Breaker should lose the Intercontinental title basically to his own fucking finisher in the spear.
That's done nowhere near as good as he does.
No. Granted, it wasn't the final thing. It was the spear into the Uso splash, which seems to be his new combo of like finish. But it's weird. It's very much a double-edged sword for me. I like that we see a title change happen on Raw, because that just shows moving forward what we can expect, because now this just shows us that anything can happen on any given Monday Night Raw or any given SmackDown. Titles can change. It's not just specifically reserved for pay-per-views anymore. So I like that idea. I like that Jey Uso won gold. I don't like that it came at the expense of Braun Breaker.
Yeah, I'm actually going to have to agree with you in that department, Dom. Scott, if you would allow me to build a bridge between the two of us before you tear it down with your giant claw of vengeance, having Braun Breaker drop the belt this soon was not a good idea.
I don't think so.
No, it was not. Like, SummerSlam doesn't even feel like it was all that long ago, and he only ever feuded with one guy after he picked up the strap.
I want to say, I think it was like something like 52 days. It was a lot.
Oh, that's a real number. Yeah, but like him, he only feuded with Jay over the belt, didn't he? Did he feud with
Jay and
Sammy?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like he didn't even manage to rack up that many other competitors. I was really hoping for him to go on a hot streak, and while that could very much well still happen, I would assume his title has some type of rematch clause. So maybe we'll get something like that in Bad Blood. So I hope he.
I don't believe so. I believe the match card for Bad Blood is pretty much filled at this point.
We have one more week to go, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But yes, like Braun Breaker should have held the belt a little longer. I don't mind him jobbing out today, but like, come on, guys.
You don't mind him jobbing to Jay?
I know. I don't mind him jobbing out to Jay, just not now.
I don't think he should have lost to Jey Uso, period. Unless it was like a Money in the Bank cash-in. The only way I'll be okay with this is if this is just a reason to get the IC title off him so he can go after the heavyweight championship. It's the only thing I'll be okay with.
Again, but it still seems kind of soon because Braun Breaker's really. I mean, a heel versus heel match. I'm not saying those are bad.
I don't think they're trying to keep Braun a heel. I think they're trying to make him a babyface, and I think this is part of how they're doing it. Is by taking the belt away from him. Because, let me put it this way, they're already having, like, this whole fan interaction with Braun, where it's, like, the barking thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's a very babyface thing to do. That's not a heel thing.
Yeah.
The heel doesn't get chance. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The heel doesn't get chance. The babyface does.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we also just talked about Stone Cold, too.
Yeah.
So,
can you really say Stone Cold was a heel? He was a tweener. Everyone loved him.
And this is
not possible that they're making him a tweener.
Yeah, but that's my point. He's not a heel. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like the context between that and this are vastly different from one another.
Yeah.
All
right, Scott, go for it.
All right, Scott, get your
Mr.
hater
Bash,
out.
the
Come on,
floor is yours.
before it starts burning through your body like friggin' acid.
Let the hatred consume you,
Let the
Scott.
hate flow through you.
I'm gonna put the Jay thing aside right now.
Really?
Oh, okay.
My focus isn't on him. When I first heard that he lost the title, it was on him at first. I do still have an issue with him having the title, but that's not what I'm going to focus on now. Because this is the second title and I love it because you guys didn't mention it, and you guys didn't realize, but this is the third champion that we've gotten since Gunther lost that title. And these are saddeningly short streaks of holding that title, and it's doing the same thing like the Miz, like what the Miz had to do on his run with the Intercontinental title, even though he had many, was saying the prestige of the title. And Gunther did a pretty damn well job at putting the prestige up with that title. And the last thing that title needs as of right now is an insanely quick decrease, because now the last two people barely held it for 2 months max.
Not even.
That doesn't even that just is like, okay, now this title is just now there's nobody good for this title. This is just a money grab title now.
I mean,
And
Scott,
if
realistically,
anyone,
nobody was going to hold it for another 3 years.
Yeah.
no, nobody's not going to hold it for another 3 years, but the next two people can at least hold it for at least
more than 2
5
months.
a quarter. One
5
of them
months?
could at least hold it for like
5
an
months?
eighth or a quarter. Yeah, at least 5 or 6 months of holding that title. Like, it didn't have to be 2 months. I didn't think Sammy deserved to beat Gunther because it just didn't look right. The perfect. We always said this before, but it would have been Chad Gable, because yes, he is small, but he has an insane background of wrestling.
The man's an Olympic gold medalist.
It would make sense that somebody of his caliber would be able to beat somebody who seemed unbeatable.
Mm-hmm.
And then Braun beats Sammy, in which I think the title flipped back and forth. Did it not?
No, Braun lost his first attempt at the title and won the second.
Yeah,
He kept it up until he lost to Jay.
So Sammy defended, and then they had a rematch.
Sammy defended it, which was good. The rematch, Braun won, and Braun should have been a person that held the title for a lot longer than it should have.
Yeah,
and
I don't think Braun deserved to be a transitional champ. That didn't make sense.
No.
If you wanted to make him strong for 2025, how about you not make him look like a buffoon in 2024? Because it looks like he's just running in blind. And just, if he wins, it's because out of pure luck, because he's just, like, he wrestles,
meathead.
Like,
I mean,
he's flying all over the place.
I would not say out of pure luck.
Yeah, I mean, the dude
but
is
devastating. That's how it seems that it's going at, because
I
he's
get
just walking around throwing people, and then he's winning.
I get
and
what
then
you're
he's
talking
just,
about.
like, he'll do screw-ups that just ruin his run.
So, I think I understand what you're saying. Like, basically, you have him losing these matches, like, due to rookie mistakes, basically.
Yeah.
And I get that. What if Paul Heyman is probably going to come... He's got to come back at some point.
Yeah.
What are the odds we make Braun a Paul Heyman guy?
I would love Braun Breaker as a
hold on. I'm
guy.
sorry. I'm so freaking mad at you because I've been sitting here quietly this entire segment getting ready to say that, and then you come in and just stay right under, you asshole.
You're on the same mental wavelength.
Yeah, apparently I could read your mind.
Okay. All right.
But yes, I think it would be very smart to give him a manager to now make him even scarier, because now he can come in, win the Royal Rumble, go on to main event WrestleMania, blah 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 blah. Go ahead, Cap. I'm sorry.
Okay, gonna cut in after the thunder has been completely stolen from me.
Skill issue.
Get good, scrub.
Are you allowed to do that on Twitter? I don't even know. So yeah, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the match. The match itself was fantastic, and I'm gonna level with you right now. While Scott was talking about his whole thing, I'm gonna level with you. I don't mind this, to be honest with you, because I am looking at this through the bigger picture lens. Jey Uso has been in this company for 14 years. There are entire sections of this fan base that have
Weren't
been
even born yet.
alive
Yeah.
and only known Jay to be in the company. And let's call this what this is. This was either A, nice gesture to a WWE veteran at this point, or B, something that can actually give credence to this main event Jey Uso character that he's been working on for the past, what, year?
Yeah.
2
I mean,
years?
listen, you gotta. It makes sense to slap the title on the guy who gets probably the biggest fan interaction, short of the Wyatt Six.
I'm sorry to tell you, it does. Whether Scott likes it or not, Jey Uso is popular
Yes.
with the crowds. He's popular with the fans. And you know, we're all like talking about like, oh, how detrimental this is to Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker is 26.
He's got a long career ahead
He's
of him.
younger than most of us in this group in this call right now.
All right, listen, I didn't need to be called out like that. Okay.
He's the same age as
27.
me.
He's younger than me too, Dom.
Ha, Grandpa.
He's
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
he's 26, 20. No, because he's 26, 27, and he's already shown better improvement than Jay's ever could. His stick is stupid. It's simple, stupid, child-ass stick. That's basically what it is. A child could come up. A child could come up with what he says.
yes.
No.
Eat up.
Okay.
Sells t-shirts that sell.
I don't Scott, I don't disagree with you.
Gentlemen.
A 6-year-old can figure out. No. I need the floor with Jay because I hate that Cap's always the one that disagree with me, and it's especially Jey Uso. Not everybody, just because of your last name, not everybody deserves to have a singles title. You've been in this company 14 years, and the best you can come up with,
because he's been here for
the best you
15
can,
years.
and the best you can come up with is a 6-year-old identity with a moveset that hasn't changed from when you first came into this business.
Go crazy for.
Yes, it's because sometimes people are stupid, and we live in a stupid world.
Wait, hold on. So this should not happen. The fans shouldn't get something that they've been begging for at least about a year now because they're idiots?
Fans are begging for it doesn't mean he deserves it. He doesn't do anything that
Okay,
deserves it.
Scott, but
That's the line we're going down?
at the end of the day, you have to look at it this way. The WWE is a business. Yes? They're going to do what makes them the most money. What makes them a lot of money right now? The stupid-ass shirts that say Yeet. Right? So what boosts those sales? Slapping a fucking title on them. As much as...
slapping a title on them is not going to change anything with that character because it's going to sell because people like simple stuff.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying.
It's stupid.
I agree with you that it's stupid. I understand that it's stupid, but it sells. It sells merchandise, and that they're gonna keep doing it.
Dom, let's put it to you this way. Hey, how simple is just sticking your finger up in the air?
We the ones. That's it. That's all it was.
For people along the planet do that.
And they're still doing
That-
it.
you are not
non-wrestling events that when you do this, they know what you're talking about.
You are not disproving my point because I've also said in the past that Roman Reigns is only popular because of his name, and that he's also the case of wrestlers who are more popular who get better treatment. Then there's the wrestlers that are the sidekicks who are actually better wrestlers than them.
Carrying the damn company during what I would argue is one of its worst time periods.
Scott, I'm gonna have to disagree with you there.
No.
I don't think that Roman is not like where he is just because of his name. The man put in work to get where he is, and
It took the guy 10 years to be popular.
that everyone hated him when he was getting pushed down our throats. All it took was Paul Heyman.
Yeah,
A
and this
heel
is
turn- a heel turn?
This is the change we got from Roman Reigns. We got from him doing this to him doing this. That's such a big That's definitely showing something. Yeah,
No,
that's
but
definitely-
his promos got better. His promos got better. He was more aggressive in the ring. All it took was a heel
He
turn
finally changed his music.
and Paul Heyman. And that's all it took to make him over.
Exactly.
I mean, it slightly got better. Most of the time, he was trying to show us that he got his teeth done when he wasn't thinking of stuff to say.
Well, listen, if you spent that much money on veneers, I would show them off too. Shit.
You know what?
And he had the weird blue eye contacts. You guys remember?
Oh, that was back in the day. He got rid of those a long time
That was
ago.
a long time ago. Nobody remembers that. But also, let's
Except for
look
Francis,
at it like
apparently.
This, man. Aside from the Jay angle, let's look at it from the Braun Breaker perspective. Yes, he did lose. Again, he has been here for what, 5 months at this point?
Barely.
Is this
Are we
really
counting
gonna be
NXT?
the thing? Is losing to one of the most over guys in the company right now, is that really going to be the thing that buries him going into 2025?
I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it's a burial thing. I think it's more. I don't think he needed to lose yet.
Well,
It's
here's the
more
thing. Here's the thing.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been the first time.
What?
It wouldn't be the first time.
What would be the first time?
There's always one family. There's always one family name that gets all the glory, and there's other family names that don't get that may get made a fool of.
Dude, you're so fixated on this right now. Like,
I'm not. We've had it before. We've had people look like they deserve it, and then it's like, yeah, all right, no, that was.
If
good.
I may be a mediator.
how much of this do you? Okay, Scott, let me genuinely ask you this question. Do you seriously think that the entire reason that Jey Uso is Intercontinental Champion right now is because he is a member of the Anoa'i family? Yes or no?
Yeah. If anybody had the moveset and the pro, and
why would
if
this-
anybody
but
had
let me
that
ask
type
you
of character, like usually wouldn't succeed.
Okay, then
But
let me
they only
ask you
succeed
this.
because of his
Why are
name.
we only having his first singles title run now?
It's because
Why are we doing it now?
Triple H listens to the fans, and obviously we're tired of him constantly losing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why. Because every time I see him with a solo run that isn't a contenders match or for the title, he loses. So how is it that he deserves this stuff if he constantly loses? You want winners the whole
Despite all of
titles.
that losing, he is still Omega popular. You remember? Let me tell you about my favorite wrestler, LA Knight, right now. The man has been in the company how long now? 2 years now? 3 years or something like that?
Yeah, like 2,
I think so.
2-3 years.
something like
He
that.
only just got his first title. His first title. He
Period.
got his first title shot late last year. And that was against the biggest guy in the company. He got his first title this year, a couple of months ago. Has there ever been a moment where LA Knight was on television that people didn't go crazy for? We all thought last Money in the Bank that LA Knight was walking out with the briefcase, and it would have made perfect sense. I said it myself. I would be fine if either Damian won or LA Knight won. I got one of those answers anyway. And what did LA Knight do? He comes out on SmackDown after the Money in the Bank and said, forget about the briefcase. I don't need the damn briefcase. I'm going to be champion anyway. It has nothing to, we are in this situation, and I'm sorry to tell you, it's got nothing to do with his last name. Or at least I don't think it has anything to do with his last name right now. It's the simple fact that right now, Jey Uso is A, making them millions right now. He is making them so much money.
I believe.
And 2,
I want to say he's
all
one of
that
the leading
losing-
merch sellers right now.
And there you go. And 2, it's because despite losing the 6 different title shots that he's had before this, people still adore him. Now, I'm going to bring this to the Braun Breaker aspect for a minute. Yes, it does suck that he lost. He has been in the company for 5 months. 5
Again,
months.
is that
He's
including
been
NXT?
on the roster? He can win back the title. And you know what? This doesn't hurt him, man. I don't think that this hurts him that much. I don't think it does. I'm sorry to tell you, I don't think it does. I think it shows how inexperienced he is.
But it also doesn't. Oh yeah, but I also didn't say it was only about him. I also said it's about the title and having it win. Having Braun Breaker win back the title will just make it worse for everybody. It would make it worse for Jay. It would make it worse for Braun. It would make it worse for the title.
Why would it make it worse?
Because you're showing the title is just a give me. The Intercontinental title is not a give me title. We're not talking about the hardcore title or the 24/7 championship. This isn't a give me title. This is a title that needs to be glorified, and having it switch people back and forth isn't glorifying it. It's showing that it's just paperweight.
Glorified. No, this is the workers' title. This is the workhorse title, man.
Cap, if I may, I think what Scott is trying to say is that he's afraid that there might be a WCW circa 2000 situation where every 2 weeks the belt is passed off to a different person. And while thankfully I don't believe we're near those waters yet, there is always the realm of possibility. Cap, please, Francis is talking. Yeah, I have to be the responsible one.
He's the responsible one right now?
He's the only one that's not screaming.
That's how bad this has gotten.
Also, I did pull up a list of the top merch sellers as of this month. So the top 10, in order, are Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Rhea Ripley, Stone Cold Steve Austin, John Cena, CM Punk.
Stone Cold? That's awesome.
John Cena, CM Punk, Jey Uso, LA Knight, Bray Wyatt, and then coming in at number 10, Jey Uso again.
Yeah. If Joe Hendry was officially signed with the company, then yes, he would be.
Because of the John Cena effect, you just splatter. What CM Punk said. You just splatter on a different color and you sell it and you count it as merch.
But yes, as much as that is true, does it work?
Also, I think
does it sell?
The first time. Yeah.
So they're going to keep doing it.
Everybody wants to treat everything like Pokemon, where you got to collect them all.
But again, does it work? Ultimately, at the end of the day, WWE is a business. Their goal is to make money. They are going to do what makes them more money.
There's also
skill has nothing to do.
But there's also timing.
Yes, I agree.
I agree.
Wanted it. They capitalized on it. They capitalized on Jey Uso while he was hot.
Yeah.
For once, they did what the fans wanted. Yes, but Jay is hotter at the moment with the crowd. The crowd eats him up. They buy his merch. Yes, the fans like.
And now Braun's going to be at a standstill because now he's going to have to work up to doing something again.
I don't believe he'll be at a standstill.
They're not going to make. He's on Raw, right?
Yeah.
He's on Raw. Yeah. So I mean, as much as I believe that Braun could beat Gunther, I also don't believe that he's going to beat him anytime soon.
No.
Because they're going to have Gunther hold that title for somewhat of a lengthy time, at least a year.
He doesn't have to.
Probably more.
They could have Braun win the Royal Rumble. They could have Braun win Money in the Bank. He can use one of those things to win. Exactly.
I'm just glad it's not Cody anymore.
The
Rumble did.
Thing, man, you know what? Maybe a situation like this where Braun loses this title in a match that let's be perfectly honest here. None of us went into Monday thinking that Jay was gonna beat him.
I did.
Not one of us did.
I did.
No.
Not one of us except Francis did.
Lying ass.
But I get where Cap is coming from. No one these past couple years, you don't really expect title changes to happen on Raw or SmackDown. It's like, if it's gonna change hands, it's gonna happen at the pay-per-view. It's going to be at the pay-per-view. It's always going to be at the freaking pay-per-view. The only way we get a title change on Raw or SmackDown is if someone cashed in Money in the Bank or something. Or it was like a tag title win that no one gives a fuck
then,
about.
I don't think someone cashed in Money in the Bank on free TV in like a while.
There's been attempts, but I can't
But
remember.
like not a successful one.
I want to say the last one, I'm probably wrong, but the last one I remember was Carmella cashed in on Charlotte Flair. Like, it was the Monday after Mania. It was the Monday after Mania.
That's the one that I can think of.
Yeah, it was the Monday after Mania, 2018.
And then there was that stupid one where they tried to get the briefcase off of Theory, so
yeah, it was,
had to cash in on the U.S. title or something.
Yeah, and then
lose anyway. So,
yeah,
you know.
But that wasn't a successful title change.
But also, let's consider who was champion at that point too. Like, could Theory theoretically beat either Brock or Roman at that point? Like, come on now.
No, and you just had the whole situation with Vince leaving and Triple H taking over, and Austin Theory was like Vince's golden child. He was getting everything he wanted, and then Triple H came in and was like, "Yeah, no, we're not doing that."
Yeah.
And then yes, the overall conclusion of all of this is, Braun is a badass. He is everything in the world that we think he is. He is also a complete rookie.
Mm-hmm. It won't take him long to bounce back.
So lo and behold, what causes him to focus?
Vengeance.
Get him an advocate.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with you there. This is just the cynical realist in me talking, guys. When the Polaris comes back, let's be real here, he's probably going to go back to the Bloodline.
Absolutely. But there's nothing that says he can't manage more than one person at a time.
He's done it.
He's done it in the past.
He's done it before.
He's a pro.
Exactly.
He's the Polaris.
I believe that, yes, Paul Heyman will come back and be the wise man to Roman Reigns once again. But I also wouldn't be shocked if they showed him pulling some strings and talking to Braun Breaker backstage, and eventually he's like, "Oh, let me help you. Let me work with you.
Let me be your mentor."
Yeah, obviously, like Paul Heyman has said it multiple times, and so has pretty much everyone that's ever worked for WWE. Any wrestler who wrestled for WWE has gone to Paul Heyman for advice at one point or another, because he was always backstage. He was always around. He was always in Gorilla. If he didn't have an on-screen persona, he was still there. He was still a producer. He was part of creative.
He booked SmackDown for 4 fucking years.
Exactly. Everyone went to him for advice. Everyone speaks, because honestly, outside of, probably has the best mind for professional wrestling. Period. Like, of anyone who is alive right now, has probably the best creative mind for professional wrestling. Period. Like, he knows how to get people over. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to be a good manager. Even when, like I said, when he's not on screen, and like we said, when he was booking SmackDown, you could tell the difference. It was very obvious when Paul was involved in a segment.
Yeah.
And I think a big difference in that as well is Paul has evolved with the time.
Exactly. He's a
never
smart
stayed
man.
Stagnant in one period of idea. He understands, what people are liking is becoming different. So how do I make that work?
Exactly.
One could even make the argument he created it. The landscape.
Absolutely.
WWE
would not be what it is now. Yeah, WWE would not be what it is now without Paul Heyman.
Exactly. So imagine a mind like that controlling a force like Braun.
Yeah.
Also, I'm gonna answer the chat very quickly, because a message came through while we were all screaming at each other, and I didn't feel like it was time to interrupt. Rob, to answer your question, when is wrestling gonna have a Magic the Gathering set? Hopefully never.
We
Yeah,
got a
no,
Street
don't
Fighter
do
one,
that.
man.
God, no.
We got a Street Fighter one, man. Anything's possible.
Maybe a secret lair, but not like
No.
a full-fledged set.
Yeah.
But
The Street Fighter one, we're getting a Marvel one. Like,
We're getting an
I'm
Avengers
hyped for
one.
that. I'm hyped.
That's
gonna be fucking
my
cool.
gateway.
Yeah,
Even
surprise,
if it
surprise,
should
we're
be
all
its own
fucking
card
nerds.
game.
Anyway, but yeah, I mean, speaking of Mr. Heyman himself, some people he's worked with very closely in these past couple of years seem to have themselves booked in a match.
oh, all right, let's talk about it.
Go for it.
Thank you.
Fucking talk.
You're introducing the topic. No, well, first of all,
I'm just trying to segue away from fucking Jey Uso so we can stop arguing.
Okay, so are we done with this topic?
I believe
Yes,
so.
everybody?
Yeah.
I think we've said all we could say without repeating ourselves. But yes.
Got? Wanna tell me to fuck
There's
off?
nothing
or
else to
something?
put out. There's
Oh
nothing
my
else to put out on my analysis.
All right.
Alright.
Do we have
All
our
right,
out?
wait, let's move on.
Yeah, so we have
Get my head on the wall.
the
God
most,
damn it.
probably the most likely the main event
Dumbass.
for Bad Blood. We have a tag team match between the Bloodline, or the Bloodline from Wish, if we will, and Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns are a tag team after their history these past couple years. They're going to be fighting Solo and Jacob Fatu, correct?
Yes, the
Yes.
werewolf.
So Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu are versing Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns in the classic trope in professional wrestling of can they coexist?
They coexist.
What do we think?
All right, so
Who wants to go
go ahead,
first?
Francis. No, Francis, go ahead.
I don't think it's going to main event. I still think that's going to be Punk Drew.
You really don't think that having
Dom's
Roman
in the main
Reigns?
event.
Yeah, okay. You don't think having Roman Reigns back after his time off for the first time is going to be the main event?
I'm just saying.
If
like,
that's not the
Punk and-
main event, I will be genuinely shocked. I think Punk and Drew is going to open the show.
I don't know. I'm not
Because
so sure
they-
about Cell as an opener.
Why not? Get it out of the way fast. Exactly. When they did the gimmick pay-per-views, it was they opened and closed the show.
But this isn't a gimmick pay-per-view.
Okay, I understand that, but we don't get gimmick pay-per-views anymore.
Thank
Triple
God.
H is getting rid of them. Anyway, I think Punk and Drew opens the show, start off high, because then it'll finish high with Roman Reigns and Cody.
I mean, I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Okay, but what do you think of the match, Francis?
Roman and Cody are going to win. But I'm pretty sure at some point in the match they're going to do the spot where one of them like decks each other on complete accident.
Or like Roman's gonna tag himself in.
Yeah,
And, like, Cody's gonna get
that's
pissed.
a given.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scott, what do you think, man?
I think they'll be. I think they'll be able to coexist because Cody's level-headed enough to realize that he is actually not. I mean, he is my enemy, but the enemy of my enemies is my friend.
Yeah.
He's basically probably gonna come up with something like that because that's the mindset he should have. Because he's not my enemy right now, but we're having an issue with this one, and they won't stop. And I don't want to see another 6 months of having the ramen version of Roman Reigns
Roman Reigns.
around.
Ramen
Reigns. Yeah, Roman Reigns around.
It's great.
But
Why Ramen
Ramen
Reigns?
I also wanted
Because
to
of
put
his
in.
hair.
I also wanted to put in because of this was a topic, but not this exact topic. The Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns promo where it was kind of cinematic.
let's talk about that.
Can we not do that again? Because that was painful to watch. Because it just sounded terrible coming out. And they're great on the mic, I know, but it sounded off. It sounded wrong. it felt like they put way too much fake. I understand it's fake, but like there was an insane amount of overacting that it was just like, this is not normal. It's just something felt off listening to them talk in that type of manner.
See, this is what I absolutely love about this show, because last topic I was ready to pull Scott's head off. This one I actually kind of agree with him. I did see this promo, and you know, they didn't say anything that I personally did not expect them to say. But I will say that I will ask this question of, why couldn't this have been done in the ring? Why
it's darker and edgier.
But like, here's the thing. I feel like these notes that these lines that they were saying, I feel like they could have hit a lot more if they had about 10,000 people screaming and reacting to them. I feel like, you know, this could have really, like, even if for some reason you really just had to have it in Georgia Tech's football stadium, fill the stands with people at that point. Fill the field at that point. Like, you know, fill the bleachers. Like, why did this have to be like this one-on-one in an empty football stadium?
Yeah,
it needed the intensity, and also the tone is way too soft for those two people, for the energy that those two people give off on their feud.
No, I agree.
All right, well, allow me to show you this great invention called a microphone. Like, this
Watch them try to do this again, but like they're in an abandoned warehouse or something. Like this was fucking juice or something.
Like, I don't know. Me personally, like, I have no problem with. It's not what was said; it's how it was said and how it was presented that I'm just like, nah. I wasn't resonating with.
Yeah. Nah, that's fair.
What did you think?
Yeah, it was just a very. It was a strange watch for me. It was like having these two, like you guys basically hit all the bullet points. Having Cody and Roman, probably like the two biggest, well, clearly from the merch list that I read earlier, literally the two biggest names in professional wrestling right now, or at least in the WWE. To have them cutting a promo on each other and not have fan interaction was strange. Like, sometimes you need the crowd to make a simple situation seem so much bigger.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
Yeah, no, I think it's I think it was a very simple case of this really could have used about 15,000 people calling somebody an asshole.
Maybe
is that you with that pouring sound?
What?
Is that you with that pouring sound? I keep hearing like a pouring.
I think that's Cap when his arm hits his desk. It's like the.
Alright. I thought it was something pouring, and I was like, that was racking my mind where the fuck that was coming from. I'm fine. You think?
Wait, one second. Cap, like, hit your elbow on the table. That noise?
Yeah, that's you.
Yeah, there it is.
Cap.
There it is. Alright, I just wanted to know where the noise is coming from. That was racking my brain.
Yeah, Cap, your microphone. You'll hear it when you listen to the audio. But when your microphone is like hitting something, like when you hit your table or your table shakes, like one of the wires is hitting maybe like the stand of the microphone, and it's making some kind of noise. It's not that bad. It's just
it's not an issue. It's not an issue. It was just I kept hearing it, and I was just like, "Where the fuck is it coming from?"
It's all good. No worries.
You good. Continue.
I mean, yeah, no, like that's pretty much it, and it kind of seems like we're all in agreement when it comes to this one.
Yeah.
It was just weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just.
Still, should be a cool main event for Bad Blood.
We'll talk more about Bad Blood next week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, during our
next week is the go home.
Yes.
Which, actually, let's just get this out of the way. In regards to our prediction game, guys, we have made some changes in regards to the prediction game.
Yeah, we
not
did.
so much as to the rules or anything like that, but more so a little something interesting added to the game. And Francis, since this was your idea,
Because I have those sometimes.
God help us all. Why don't you let us know what the new stipulation is to the game?
All right, so it's going to be business as usual when it comes down to pay-per-view. Sorry, premium live event predictions.
No pay-per-view. Don't change it now.
I'm being nice. Basically, we're going to just keep doing it as the way we do it, but now we have an actual prize that can go to the winner. That prize being whoever wins the prediction game for that specific event, he gets to choose a classic pay-per-view. It doesn't even need to be a pay-per-view. It could be an old-ass episode of SmackDown, Raw, or Nitro for all we care. And the rest of us all watch it as per the winner's request, and we give our 2 thoughts about it. I've been trying to get us to watch older stuff for a while now, and I figured this would be a cool way to do it.
Well, essentially, so basically, what this is the winner of the prediction game basically runs a segment on the next episode. Like, we got to do a review on the next episode. I'm gonna be honest with it. It's the first idea he's ever had, and it's not that, and it's actually a pretty damn good one.
And we have a lot of pay-per-views, so this show will die out way before we reach all of them.
This show is gonna keep going until the sun burns out.
Until you're 90.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. We're gonna keep it going, but like it's gonna. There's so many of them that we don't.
Our children will take up the mantle of the push.
Oh God, help us!
And then it's gonna go until they're 90.
Wrestling will never die.
Never-ending story.
Shut up. Thank God I got rid of that button. But speaking of things that will never seem to die,
Jeff Hardy's.
Oh God!
I mean,
Sorry that made me laugh. I was like, Jeff Hardy has recently.
I mean, yeah. Francis did want to talk about Jeff Hardy, so take it away, Francis.
Yes, God, you had something you wanted to talk about.
Oh, it was this.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought it was Francis.
Yeah,
Someone wanted to talk. All right, someone wanted to talk about Jeff Hardy, so go talk.
Somebody talk about Jeff Hardy.
All right, I'll have Francis have the floor, but I'll say what he said. This is the topic that I'm trying to push. So this is the quote from Jeff Hardy. This run on TNA will be the biggest reinvention of myself he's ever had. Or the biggest reinvention of himself he's ever had. So my question is, what could this mean for TNA's future? And also, I would add, what can you see from Jeff Hardy? Like, something different? That's like,
And then it hasn't been done
that's like
already.
weird.
The idea of him doing something different terrifies me because I don't know that he even knows what he means when he says something different.
He's gonna bring back his Antichrist of pro wrestling gimmick.
What,
Willow?
Or bring it back. Willow?
No, not Willow. It's when he was Hulk Hogan's apprentice in like the early 2010s.
Nah, he's gonna bring back the Coke.
He never lost the Coke.
Yeah, that's part of the issue.
He's gonna jump off another skyscraper.
I mean, honestly, I'm very interested to see what he does. I didn't get a picture of it because I couldn't find a decent picture of good resolution. But he did have he did paint his face in a tribute to Bray Wyatt.
I saw.
He painted his face to look like the Fiend mask, and I thought that was really fucking cool.
That was. I will agree that was very good. As far as this concerned,
Just
I'm glad.
like the fact that he does that himself is always impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and it was spot on too.
Yeah, it was like exactly like the mask. Even the eyes were freaking.
It was absolutely perfect. Well, I will say this: I'm glad that you two are excited about this. I am horrified.
Oh, I'm scared but excited at the same time.
Scared to death over the new Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, like what do you mean by new? Like what the fuck are you doing? I think I would be more shocked if they don't show up on NXT between Jeff and Matt.
Like seriously, I don't know about you guys. I'm scared to death at what he means by this.
I have a feeling though that this probably will be their last big run.
Guys,
I think it has to be.
Like at this point, Go
There's
out
so
big.
many things he hasn't jumped
You know,
Guys.
do a big title run with the tag titles, either whether it's NXT or Impact or both or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe have like a surprise appearance at Mania. Again, that's always fun.
Yeah.
But at this point, I think it's going to be very soon for them to hang up the boots.
Yeah.
Because they're long overdue for the WWE Hall of Fame, in my opinion.
Guys.
Both of them, not just Jeff, but Matt as well.
Yeah. I know what Jeff's gonna do.
Oh no.
Oh God.
He's gonna bring back Itchweed. Now, for those of you who don't know, Itchweed was an indie gimmick. Yep, Dom remembers. Itchweed was a gimmick that Jeff Hardy had in, I want to say, like the early time of his TNA run. Not in the 2010s, but when he left the WWE back in the early 2000s. And he had a character called Itchweed that was spelled with 3 E's. And he was like this psychotic LSD-written grass imp that just randomly showed up and started beating people with a weed whacker.
Oh my God.
Bring that back. Bring that back. Bring that back.
Also, I do want to give a quick shout out real quick. 11th Hour, thank you for the follow. What's up, my guy?
Hey, thank you very much. Keep it pushing, my man.
Sweet threes, get with it, boy!
Anyway,
Oh,
all right. I think
Thanks for the follow, my man.
Thank you.
I think it's about time to pull into our last segment before we get out of here. Vince McMahon is back in the news.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
God.
Yeah, okay. This was my story.
Oh,
so
God.
Yeah.
No.
So for some of you, or anybody who doesn't know, Mr. McMahon recently had a Netflix documentary series drop this week.
Yeah.
Simply titled Mr. McMahon. I will mention this, that and it does mention it in the documentary, that this was filmed before the allegations came out last year. Last year? This year? What was
Last
it?
year.
Last year.
Last year. So I do have to make mention of that this was filmed before that. So, you know, I did start watching it last night. I watched the first episode. Overall, I think it's good so far. You know, very basic stuff. His relationship with his father, the first WrestleMania, the lawsuits in the '80s that came with WrestleMania 1.
The Montreal Screwjob? No,
That's going to
no
be
time.
later on in the documentary. But what I did notice is that Vince actually came out with a statement in regard.
I'll put it up on the screen real quick.
Yes, you put
There
it
we
up
go.
on the screen. I got it. I'm reading it from my notes here on my phone. Yes, it reads as follows. I don't regret participating in this Netflix documentary. The producers had an opportunity to tell an objective story about my life and the incredible business I built, which were equally filled with excitement, drama, fun, and a fair amount of controversy and life lessons. Unfortunately, oh boy, based on an early partial cut I've seen, this doc falls short and takes the predictable path of conflating the Mr. McMahon character, it's in quotes for some reason, with my true self, Vince. The title and the promos alone make that evident. A lot has been misrepresented or left out entirely in an effort to leave viewers intentionally confused. The producers use typical editing tricks with out-of-context footage and dated sound bites, etc., to distort the viewer's perception and to support a deceptive narrative. In an attempt to further their misleading account, the producers use a lawsuit based on an affair I ended as evidence that I am, in fact, quote-unquote, Mr. McMahon. I hope the viewers will keep an open mind and remember that there are two sides to every story. End quote. Okay, so I know I've only seen one episode of the documentary so far. I do intend to watch the rest of it. When a person has this sort of documentary made about them, I feel like when you have to go on social media and defend yourself before the thing even comes out, because this statement came out before the
documentary aired.
Yeah,
it's bad.
I feel like
that's not good.
The most crimson of red flags.
Yeah. There's also been several reports that Vince has tried on multiple occasions to buy the docuseries from Netflix to have it killed.
So, here's the real question, I guess. Do I even want to know what the hell is on this thing that he is so terrified of it?
Well, I think a big from what I'm taking from the quote is he's stating that the documentary or the docuseries has projected him, the real Vince McMahon, as the Mr. McMahon persona that we saw on TV for all these years, that we knew as like the villain, the bad guy. And they're like, no, that's just him in real life. And he doesn't want us to know that.
Well, to piggyback off of what you just said, Dom, Vince, like you just said, he's always saying like, oh, Vince McMahon, the person, and Mr. McMahon, the character, are two
very
completely
different.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces of the docuseries. Literally everyone who's ever worked with him, from Cena to H to Brett to Hogan, yeah, they all say they're the same guy.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, I mean, is that what he's afraid of?
No, they talk about other stuff.
No, yeah, I'm sure there's.
I've seen when I was watching, I scrolled through the titles of the other episodes. They talk about some rather heavy topics. I think the Montreal screw job.
Yeah, the screw job, the steroid trials, probably part of it. Benoit
giving Shane a knife and telling him to kill him to get an idea over.
And God knows what else. I
know the lawsuit, the most recent lawsuit with
steroid trials.
No, not even the steroid trials. The Janelle Grant stuff.
Oh,
yes.
The sexual assault allegations, things. The whole reason he left WWE in the first place. Yeah. I know that was very much added in at the last second, and that I think is a big part of why he's so upset.
Yeah,
is because that wasn't supposed to be there, and then the director decided to add it in because. I mean, listen, you do what you got to do. It's a documentary, not a fucking fiction piece.
Yeah.
It's a documentary. Like, I feel like, and I've worked on a couple documentary pieces in my career myself. So I feel like it would almost be a disservice if it wasn't at least talked about. I understand that all of these allegations, they have not been proven in court just yet. I'm saying that mostly to cover our asses right now, but
allegedly.
It's all alleged right now, but let's be perfectly honest. If they didn't mention that in the documentary, or at least talk about it, I mean, like, we'd be doing a disservice to ourselves.
Absolutely.
Here. They'd be doing it.
I mean, listen, again, it's a documentary. It's meant to paint the picture of what we've seen and show us behind the curtain of what we know. And you can't leave shit out just because it doesn't fit your perspective.
Also, from what I've heard, Ted Turner still lives in Vince's head rent-free.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of suspicious that out of the entire documentary, the only thing that's an issue is you. But that's not only before it's come out, but how do we even know how people are going to react? Like, he's making this an issue before anybody else could make it an issue. And it's not hard to believe that there's crazy things about Vince McMahon that he doesn't want us to know.
Yeah, I mean, look at the creative shit that he came up with. There's like incest story. Like, come on.
Yeah, I was about to say this is the guy that wanted to do an incest segments with
his own daughter,
with Stephanie McMahon, and
his
I'm
own
just like, why
real life blood daughter.
The only thing, well, here's
I mean,
the thing.
you can look back and even though we loved the era that we came with, when you look back, you can see some of the shit that he came up with, and we're like, bro, that's
crazy.
That's a sick mind. Some of it's like a really sick mind.
This is the guy who like watched his wife round second base with Eric Bischoff when he was like 2 feet away from them.
This is the same guy who booked himself to make out and just French, full on French and grope supermodel caliber women with his wife in the ring with him in a wheelchair pretending to be paralyzed.
I mean, like,
hello.
See, here's the thing that here's the thing about this statement that really just like scares me, or not so much scares me. I'm confused because there is already so much that is. I'm going to be honest with you. I was confused why this documentary is coming out. Number one, because of all of the allegations, but number two, what skeletons are there even left?
Vince McMahon had a very public life. A lot of Vince McMahon's life we already knew about. He did not play a lot of cards close to the chest. Clearly, he did have some, because we didn't find out about certain things until very recently.
Later. Mm-hmm.
But there wasn't. I feel like there wasn't a lot of content to go on that we didn't already know. Granted, painting it in a new light is a very different situation.
Yeah.
From what I've understood with this docuseries, Vince was very happy to
shed some light
on certain situations, like the steroid trial, the Benoit situation, things like that. And then
Montreal.
He wasn't really upset about any of it until they decided to include the most recent allegations with Janelle Grant and other things. Because he's been very open to talk about the Montreal Screwjob. Like, he said it. He's like, yeah, I had to get the title off.
Yeah. So let me...
Benoit was, the whole Benoit situation was, that was an accident. It was an accident on WWE's part.
Yeah.
It was a mistake. They shouldn't have... yes, you want to honor the life of the guy you had that was working for you. He was a champion, this and that. But they didn't have all the information when they did that tribute episode, and then they were like, "Oh my god, what the fuck have we done?" And they had to cover it up by basically erasing the man from history. That being said, Vince wasn't shy about talking about it. He goes, "Yeah, he's like, if I knew what he did before the episode, it never would have happened."
So I have a working theory right now, and
is that why I smell smoke?
Later on. And it's this. He's comfortable talking about things like the Montreal Screwjob. He's comfortable talking about Benoit. He's comfortable talking about him making women get on their knees and bark like dogs
and kiss his ass.
And kiss his ass and all of that stuff. He's comfortable talking all of these because he's already proven that he's successful beyond push.
Because of it.
Yeah. When it comes to these specific allegations, these recent allegations, I genuinely think he is terrified because he knows, it's done.
He's over. He's done. He's finished.
He's done.
Yeah.
He's over. I mean, there was already a period. They have already erased him from the 2K24 game modes.
Yeah, you can't put him in the game.
And to be honest with you, and he might come out and say it's because of I don't want these to destroy the company or stuff like that. No, nothing is destroying them. You could not even destroy WWE when you were trying to destroy.
Not even that. It's like when he first stepped away, he made it seem like, I'm doing this for the better of the company because of the situation. I don't want to bring negativity into my company. That was, I guarantee you, that was bullshit.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, the board voted him out and said, "You need to fucking leave."
And
probably Stephanie and Triple H talked some sense into him and said, "Listen, if you want this company to succeed, sell your shares, get the fuck out before you take everything down with you." And he was willing to fucking do it because he came back and said, "Nah, I'm back. Fuck this. I can't do it." And then more allegations came out. He's like, "All right, I'm out."
It's like, okay, I really do have to go now.
Yeah.
He doesn't mind talking about other people because he doesn't care about talking down about other people, but if it's about himself, he wants to keep it hidden.
He'll talk down about his own family. He could give a fuck.
Classic rich man, selfish rich man story.
In the documentary, apparently Shane had an idea. Vince said it was stupid. Shane fought for it, so Vince handed Shane a knife and said, "If you're really serious about this idea, stab me to death. And if you don't do it, you're a pussy."
Which is psychotic.
The man is fucking crazy. We've known this for years. It's not a secret.
We were children.
Yeah, like I knew that shit. Bro, the second I saw fucking what was it, Mae Young give birth to a hand?
And
yes, no, seriously, what the hell was that?
Come on.
It's my strong hand.
that's why we watched it. It's part of the reason why we
because
watched
it was fucking crazy. Yes.
We were like, I gotta know what the fuck they're gonna do.
Here's something that I'm thinking about, and here's the thing. This documentary, I genuinely think he's terrified of this documentary, not just because it has nothing to do with, oh, it's going to destroy his legacy and his creation and all of this stuff. No, because arguably speaking, WWE is more popular than it has ever been.
Oh, absolutely.
In the past, I would say, decade. It's more popular now.
No, he's not worried that it's going to ruin WWE. He's worried that it's going to ruin him.
His own ass right now. And when you put out a statement like that,
you're trying to fucking
you
nip it in the butt before it starts.
Because of what it's gonna do to you.
Yeah, and he only put that statement out because, like I said, he couldn't buy the doc to put it, like, to kill it, to bury it. But I would not be surprised. I haven't watched anything of the documentary yet. Yeah. I plan on watching it probably in the next few days. But I could tell just from the way Vince reacted and just from what little snippets I've seen of previews, this docuseries is going to be a complete and utter burial of Vince McMahon. And you know they're going to do anything and everything to absolutely demolish whatever little reputation this man has left.
And you know what? I'm sorry to say it. I'm sorry to say this, but I have to. You know, I understand. This has nothing to do with any allegations. This is what I genuinely think. This is going to be a burial of Vince McMahon, and I'm going to level with you. He
absolutely deserves it.
He's kind of got it. He's got it coming.
Yeah, I mean, and if you think about it, there isn't a single McMahon left in the WWE. Mm-hmm. Vince is gone. Stephanie resigned. Yeah, granted, Triple H is running the show, her husband, but he's not a McMahon.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
And Shane's about to be in AEW.
Shane's about to sign with fucking AEW.
So, you know, there's all that.
Yeah. So it's like, if Shane O'Mac debuts on AEW, I'm gonna fucking piss myself. Because not only can he not wrestle in the WWE, he's gonna look 15,000 times worse in AEW.
It's like, oh my lord, we're doing it again.
Obligatory cat appearance.
Cat.
He scours tonight.
But I'm gonna keep watching the documentary. I'm very much enjoying it so far. And we're gonna see what happens, obviously, with these allegations, with this trial as well. And you know, the second if it is proven to be true, then you're gonna see a second burial of Vince McMahon on the push right here. So keep keep it on Twitch.
Are we gonna make our own documentary? We're gonna make our own documentary, you guys.
No, we're not gonna make a documentary. We're just gonna.
Francis, we're just gonna interesting for a documentary.
We're just gonna shit on Vince McMahon for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But that's all I got.
Yeah, no. I think that's it, man. I think we're gonna wrap it up for tonight. We want to thank everybody who watched the stream tonight. We appreciate all of you. We appreciate the follows, the conversation. Be sure to follow this over here for more. We do these weekly, our weekly podcast. We're talking about everything going on in wrestling. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, The Push, for the next day VODs. Be sure to also follow to our Instagram and our TikTok for daily or almost daily wrestling content. So, for all of us here at The Push, my name is Cap.
I'm Dom.
Got Dash.
And I'm Francis.
Ring that bell for me, Dom.
There it is.